Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Mcubed Show about all things fantasy sci-fi. As always, I'm your host, Schmerold. In this week's episode, we're going to be talking about the mid-season of The Walking Dead. So part 1 of the final season of The Walking Dead is finally here. It's all out. The first 8 seasons of the last season of this show that I have loved since its dawn. Alright, and now, there were a few hiccups along the way, but overall, they're ending the show pretty strongly, I would say. Alright, of course, I think season 7 was the weakest, and it kind of made me kind of get out of the show because season 8 started off kind of weak as well. But then season 8 became, the second half of season 8 became one of my favorite things ever in TV cinema, right? So, with season 11, alright, so of course this is after the Whisper War, alright? It's just basically this whole half season has been specifically about the survival of our heroes, alright? The survivors, right? And of course, they're kind of split up right now. We have... In the very beginning, we had a crew, specifically with Negan, Maggie, and Daryl in a subway thing or some underground tunnel thing, and it was filled with walkers, of course, right? But then they all get split up, and then once they're on the outside, they run into a brand new group, which are going to be called the Reapers. All right, they are able to steal the food that they were all trying to get to begin with. So because Alexandria is running low on food right now, which is brewing for some trouble. So basically the whole part of their arc for the rest of the season is trying to get this food back from the Reapers, right? But they get split up. It's basically you get some Maggie and Negan action. They're the only two together at one point until they run back into Gabriel and I can't remember his name, but it's Maggie's right-hand man now. So those two were together. But we had some awesome interaction between Maggie and Negan throughout this mid-season, which I love seeing. They're finally having they have to work together. They are realizing that, even though no matter what, Maggie's going to be hating Negan for the rest of her life because Negan's the reason her child has to grow up fatherless. But she is willing to be civil with the guy, which I like seeing. Because Negan's one of my favorite characters in this show. Jeffrey Dean Morgan, great casting. It was him or John Hamm were the guys I would have wanted to play Negan. I'm happy they got one of them. But anyway, so we had Daryl split off too when they were in the woods, because again it was Maggie and Negan, it was Gabriel and this other guy, and then Daryl got split off with Dog, right? But he runs into his old flame where he got Dog from, who happens to be a part of this Reapers team, and he meets the leader of the Reapers. He calls himself Pope, who I'm liking. I liked him as a just a little arc of a villain, but he seemed like a pretty reasonable guy to an extent. He's just a guy trying to lead his pack. He believes God's a big factor in his life, which I think is cool. But again, Daryl's he's gaining that guy's trust. Daryl's just playing both sides until he knows he can get back with his family, which no matter what, the survivors is his crew, and he knows that. Even if the girl he is into is with the Reapers. But we get to, also, we're going to look at Alexandria's stuff. So we have, a lot of it is focusing on Aaron. He's dealing with a lot of PTSD from everything he's been through when it comes to the wolves, the saviors, and then of course the whisperers. He's afraid for his daughter's life, Gracie, and he just wants nothing more than help her make sure she's safe, you know? So there's an episode specifically that I liked where they go back to the hilltop, which is obviously there's walkers everywhere, but they find that there's a walker little pack that's kind of being led. So okay, so they find a whisperer there. So they're oh shoot, a whisperer's still around, and there's just some guy trying to make sure he can stay alive. His family's in the hilltop bunker or basement, and they start attacking Aaron and whatnot. So Aaron gets pissed off at this one guy, chains him up, and then has a walker bite his hand. So he's listen, you gotta give me some information or I'm gonna let you turn, or I can cut your hand off. Doesn't give him much information. He's just trying to find out, are the Whisperers are they still a threat? And the guy's no, they're not. Alright, we're just trying to live out there. That's all we know how to do anymore, so just leave us be. But Carol's alright, screw it. Let him go. Let him go, Aaron. Alright. Aaron's looking kind of like Rick in this aspect where he's kind of going nuts, but he'll do anything to protect his family. Lydia's just listen, I know this guy. He's not a bad guy. Obviously, Lydia is Alpha's daughter, so she knows this guy because she was a Whisperer too. But we find out at the end of that episode that he's saying yeah, we saw one of your crew coming out of that cave where we had a lot of walkers, and they're what are you talking about? So he's yeah, she was in the woods around that area not too long ago, and they're all right, we got to find Connie. So we know Connie's alive, which is great. I've always loved Connie as a character. I love that they have this deaf actress playing this deaf woman in the Walking Dead universe. Adds for some crazy cinematics within the show, because Virgil, the guy that that kidnapped Michonne at one point, who was kind of crazy, Michonne brought him back to the light. He saves Connie, and they get locked up in this house trying to get away from a horde of walkers, right? But they find out they're not alone in this house. Like, there's literally people living inside these walls. And that's the craziest episode to me, like, from this mid-season, from the first part of this final season. Because it's just, there's multiple scenes where you just have Connie just walking through this house, and, like, they just cut all audio out. Because it's just, like, you're like, witnessing what she's going through, like, in this aspect. Like, there's just, like, these random weird crazy ass people like just roaming this house, like in the walls. She can't hear a thing. It ends with, obviously, they get out of there. Virgil gets stabbed, but he's okay. And then they get out, and Connie's reunited with her sister and then Carol, because they're there outside that house to help them away from like these crazy people, as long as the walkers. Crazy episode. I believe that was episode 6 of the finals. I believe that's episode 6 of this season, but I really like that episode. And then we have the absolute finale of the mid-season mark, which it was a slightly underwhelming of a mid-season finale. It was okay though. You have Daryl finally like telling the girl he likes, listen, like my friends are down there, like they're trying to break in to get their food back, and she's like, I thought I could trust you and all that. And then Pup comes back and it's like, what were you guys talking about and whatnot? And he's like, we're gonna kill them all right? He doesn't find out that Daryl is betraying them, but then he's about to kill them all. And then Daryl's girl decides to just freaking shank him right in the neck. And I'm like, whoa, okay. I was kind of disappointed with this, because I'm like, are you just going to make Daryl's like girl like the bad guy now for the rest of the season, probably? Because I thought Pope was actually a pretty interesting character. I think whoever played him was cool. He had a cool outfit design. He's just a cool actor, cool character. And they just kill him like that. It's kind of lame, but it's okay. But yeah, that's kind of how the episode, or the mid-season ends. It's just like they're fighting. So like Negan and Maggie and Gabriel are taking out some of these Reaper guys, and then the other like retreat, and they're like, oh, why are they retreating? And then they look up and they see Daryl's girl light these firework things, like these firecrackers, and they're shooting down at them and the walkers. And that's how it ends. It's like, oh wow, how are we gonna get out of this? You know, and that's just how it ends. And it's okay, but I just think it's kind of lame that now we gotta wait till like probably February to see what happens. Especially when they only gave us 8 episodes, when this is like a 22 episode season. So like the whole final season, part 2, is gonna be 16 full episodes, which is already a full season already. But I mean, this first half of the season, it's okay. To be like what gives us a taste of the end of this show, like I liked it. Alright, I liked what we're seeing. I like seeing these characters again. But it's like, where are you going with this? You know? And like, are we getting these Rick Grimes movies? How are you going to end the show? Like, are we going to get a hint at Rick at any point? Because Rick's supposed to be alive. That's Daryl's whole calling, is to try to find Rick. Like, that's how he met up with this girl to begin with, because he spent like 2 whole years just looking for Rick's body. He never found it. And he knows Rick's alive then. But who knows? Who knows? I mean, I'm not shitting on this first half. It's good, but it's like, I'm like, the second half has to be stellar, because this is the final season of one of my favorite shows there's ever been. And of course they're going to be making spin-off shows and, you know, stuff along that nature, you know? Like, I want these movies, or I just need to see Rick again, because Rick's one of my favorite characters in all of fiction, you know? And I just hope we can see him soon. Alright, but that's it, guys. That's my little review for The Walking Dead, part 1 of the final season. Again, it's definitely solid. Like, I liked a lot of the characters in it. I really liked specifically these Negan and Maggie scenes. I liked seeing Connie back. Daryl, of course, is great. And then Aaron was actually pretty interesting. He had a lot of Rick showing in him this whole season. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Make sure to like and subscribe. Leave your comments down below. Let me know what you think about The Walking Dead as a whole and this final season so far. Alright, I'll catch y'all very soon. Bye-bye.